We're talking today with Rick Gillespie, the 2025-2026 Growth Chair, and we're visiting today about membership growth and strategy and innovations. Rick, thanks for being with us today.
Well, it's good to be here.
Rick, you're from the London Oak Ridge Acres Optimist Club, but let's talk a little bit about your Optimist story. How did you become an Optimist member?
Well, I moved into this neighborhood, the Oak Ridge area, in 1985 with my young family, and we enrolled our kids in T-ball at that time. They were pretty young, and it was run by the Oak Ridge Optimists. And I met some of the people there. They seemed like good people, and they asked me almost right away to join the club, and I said no, I'm too busy, family and work and all of that. I went on for 12 years being involved in the baseball committee as a convener and a coach and all of that. And then finally, I was asked again, and I said, why am I saying no? I'm already doing all this stuff with the sports committee. I might as well be involved in the with the club as well and get to know some of my neighbors.
So very good. So let's talk a little about growth this year. What was some of the things you're looking for growth for membership this year? Or how are you going to help clubs with growth?
Well, first of all, we've got a mandate letter from President Tom, and he wants us to see 65 new adult clubs, any type of adult club. He wants us to be at basically a net plus in growth, which would be uh, the same as we started with on October 1st, plus at least one member. And so what we're setting out to do with our team, we have a team of members on the committee from around North America and actually around all of Optimist International. And we are just trying to get out and make contact with all the governors, all of the growth chairs, all of the new club building chairs to make sure that they have the tools to be successful in their districts, in their zones, and in their clubs. And when we started the training back at the convention for the governors elect, I did a little bit of a survey and I asked them to fill out a bit of a form with what they thought their goal was with regard to growth, membership growth, and new club building. And we're going to monitor that and help them achieve that. But I also asked them, what are the things you need to be successful? And we got a whole list of training aids that they wanted and other resources. And we've been busy as a committee. We've already held 4 webinars for growth. We have 2 more planned, one in November, one in December, and we're tackling that list that was requested by the governors elect as topics that they felt they wanted covered so that they could be successful with growth in their districts.
What are some of the tools you and your committee have laid out this year to help clubs with growth?
We've talked about the traditional tools, just asking your neighbors, your coworkers, your family, your friends. We've talked about the power of positive branding and consistent branding in everything you do. We've talked about setting up some sort of a membership information session in everything you do. So whether it's a fundraising event, a dance, or a meal, or if it's a program like an oratorical contest or a junior golf tournament, that there should be a component of membership information there. So a table or a booth or something with somebody there that can answer questions and invite people to join. We've also doubled down on our efforts to inform people about the latest tool in our arsenal, and that is social media advertising. So we've in when I was governor 20 in 23, 24, we began that in our district, and we've had some good success. We just completed a round of that just 2 weeks ago with my club. And as a result of that, in 2 weeks, we received 16 positive leads. And that led to 20 leads because some of the leads that signed up through social media brought in a friend, brought in a family member. And we've already got membership applications from two of them in the last week. I've got four more that indicate they're coming in, and we're still working with the others to get that application in and become part of the club. So it's a powerful tool. I mean, it's where people are now. Social media, whether you're 18 or 80, chances are you're on some platform in social media, and that's where a lot of people now go to get their news. It doesn't mean that you don't use the other tools in the arsenal. Uh, Putting up posters in the grocery store is still a solid tactic, but you can't ignore social media. It's a powerful, powerful tool, and it's very cost effective.
20 leads from social media is a pretty significant number. I'm quite surprised at that number. That generated leads from that.
Yeah, and we've had more. It really depends on the population area in the geographic location you're targeting. And in this case, it was a relatively small area within a large urban center. But we've done them in other areas where over a 2 to 3 week period, we get 50 leads plus. And that was for a new club building venture.
What is the cost on something like that for a social media campaign of that nature?
Well, you pay a varying rate, but we use the system. It's a little more expensive with the hot button that somebody can hit the hot button to learn more. They enter their name, their phone number, and their email address, and that they send it in to us, and we get that as a first contact team. We'll see a spreadsheet pop up, and now we can call them and tell them about Optimism. But the cost really, this recent one for 2 weeks, we put a maximum budget of $210, and that's Canadian funds. And when the tax was added, it cost us under $240. And so, you would be hard pressed to go out to a Staples or something like that and print off 400 color posters for that kind of price. Some places are inching up to about $1 a page for a color print in some of those big box stores.
So when you compare the price, you're probably generating more leads for that kind of money.
You are. So if you think about it, if you are interested in growth for your existing club or for a new club build, if you the old traditional way was to print up some posters and to get an army of members and go out, walk a neighborhood, or maybe you set up outside a hockey arena or something, or a mall, and you meet people and you talk to them and you give them a poster. Well, here, if you go out over the course, maybe you're going to run into, say, 1,000 people. Say generously, you're going to meet 1,000 people walking by. Well, here in the comfort of your own home, now your reach is in the thousands. It can be 10,000 people that you're reaching. And some people just see it and they scroll on by. But even if 1%, or even if less than 1% hit that button, I want to learn more, they've done that because they have more than just a passing interest for them to do that. And so now you've whittled down from those thousands of people that are going to see your ad, the ones that are interested, and those are the ones that you really want to contact right away. And that's the key when you do this. When a lead comes in, you can't let it sit for hours. You have to have a team that can contact them right away, tell your optimist story, and gauge their interest. Um, we also encourage people to already have an information package for the club that you're dealing with, a brag sheet, if you will, or for the new location of a club. Um, we encourage people to already have an information meeting or an event in the case of an existing club. Do this in advance. Our recent build, we had a barbecue we were doing for a school, set up in the next week. We had what we called Fall Fest, which was a pancake breakfast, and the kids could paint a small pumpkin. And we had a regular club meeting, and so we gave those people the option, and we had people come out, and we gave them an orientation to the club. They sat in while we did a little bit of club business. We kind of abbreviated. We didn't want to put people to sleep, but we had two application forms come in that night. And so it's just all the social media advertising does. It's a more effective way of finding the people that have even some level of interest. And those are the ones that you want to key on to get signed up and get involved in the club.
Is there a certain target area when you're doing these social media campaigns?
Well, there is, and depending on what you're doing, we found that the combination of Facebook and Instagram and Messenger, they're all owned by Meta, is a good platform for an adult club. So you're going to see people between Instagram and Messenger and Facebook, you're going to see adults anywhere like 18 to 80 in there. Um, if you were going to build a joy club, Facebook and Instagram is not the way to go. You probably want to get on TikTok or Snapchat or something like that. And while we haven't done the advertising on that platform, every social media platform has some sort of advertising mechanism within it. Um, Another one that can be useful would be LinkedIn. And the only thing about LinkedIn is it's a bit their advertising is just a bit more expensive than Facebook and Instagram. So that's worked for us. When you set this up, you can set parameters. You can set the geographic location you want. You can set the demographics, so the age range that you want. You can set the amount of money that you want to spend. You can set the duration of the campaign. And that way, if you go along, if you just want it for 2 weeks, it'll stop after 2 weeks. If you want to put a cap on the amount you spend, it'll keep going until you hit that amount of money, and then it'll stop. So you can control your budget. Um, you create your own ads, and we suggest a real diverse sampling of ads so that you don't have the same ad coming up all the time. And video works really well as well. We had a case in one of our new club builds where we had some static graphic ads going out, and you could see the interest. Our hit rate was going down and down. So we did up a video ad and put it out, and it picked up again. So same geographic area, same demographics, but it picked right up when we had video. And so they're all interesting things, and there's a real strategy behind it. And I would recommend to anybody that's considering it to not get hung up on the fact that you may not be a social media whiz or a computer whiz, or whatever you want to call it. But if you've got the drive to grow your club or to build a new club, why would you ignore an important tool? It'll be like building a house with a handsaw, even though there's skill saws and table saws available, but you choose not to use that more efficient tool. Um, it's just where people are now, and it also shows them if you do a quality ad, it shows them that you are a modern club. You're using modern techniques to for public outreach. And you know what? You can also use this just for advertising for uh, a fundraiser event to reach people. We've done that as well, and been very effective.
How has the success rate been with your fundraising advertising for those?
We did it for a junior golf tournament, and so up here in our district, we hold our qualifiers in June and July, and then our district championship is in August, and those people qualify to go the next year to Miami. And so we put a cap, we spent less than $200 on a campaign. And we went from, we hadn't held a qualifier before. So we went from zero to having just over 40 people signed up. But we could tell but to be fair, we were getting hits from the social media advertising. We got hits from posters in the grocery store. We got hits from word of mouth. So it just shows you that the importance of just using all the tools that are available to you.
What are some of the things that you look forward to for your campaign for growth this year as chairman of the growth committee?
Well, I really look forward to first and foremost connecting with the people that need assistance. And I encourage anybody, whether you're a lieutenant governor or a governor or you're a club president, you can see my contact information there, and we'll help anybody. I would really like us to work as hard as we can to promote, number one, I think using the new tools that are available because I truly believe that they can be effective and they're cost effective. Number two is I think especially since our COVID years, we really saw a dip in new club building, and we got out of the practice of doing that. And I think that we need to eliminate some of the mystique around that and the feeling that maybe it's too hard or it's not it's just too hard and I don't want to do it. My club isn't interested in doing it. I'll give you an example. We've got in London, the city I'm in, is a population of over 400,000, and it currently has 8 Optimist clubs. About 2 years ago, one club in the northwest corner of the city folded. The usual story, aging membership, and people just not willing, those remaining, not willing to step up and take on, and they just didn't have the luck with membership recruiting that they needed to stay viable. So they folded, but in that area, it's growing hugely in population. New subdivisions. There are 2 high schools, secondary schools. There are a number, probably 8 public schools or elementary schools in the area that all require servicing, right? They require the assistance that Optimists can give. And so now the club that I'm in is on the southern boundary of that area. We're being contacted by those other schools. So we're looking after the schools that were in our traditional geographic area. But there's more schools that need help. And of course, like every club, we've got so many financial resources. We've made that decision that we're going to build a club up in there because we want to get a club that's going to be in there, that's going to be effective, and is going to be a resource for the schools in that area. And so there are other places that have that same story where there's a need. Or if you're in a rural area, a more rural area, a small town, you're looking after your area. But there's another place down the road that maybe used to 20 years ago have a club that isn't there anymore. And we're having luck as well with those kinds of builds. We built 2 clubs in the last 2 years. We built 2 clubs each year, um, and um, and we've used the social media advertising for all of them.
What are some personal goals you've set for yourself as or as growth chair this year?
I think the most important thing for me is to just be available. I would love to join in by Zoom or, depending on the location, in person if I can, at quarterly meetings or zone meetings or even a club meeting if they're considering doing some type of membership growth plan. We also have a whole team, people in every region of Optimist International that are on the committee that can make contact and come out. But I'd love this year to, no matter what the final numbers are, I would just want it to be known that we were there for everybody that asked for help, that we didn't have people that were afraid to ask for help, that if they have questions or if they need resources of any type, that they've come forward. We've been there for them. We've talked with them, and they've been able to make a decision knowing that they have the full support of our committee and Optimist International.
What advice do you have for clubs that are looking at building a club this year or looking to grow their club there this year?
Well, I'll tell you, we've done our webinars. So we had a webinar in August before our mandate even started. We had one in September before our committee truly started. We're doing them in October. We have them planned for November. One we're going to do jointly with the marketing committee to talk about how marketing and growth go right together. And then we're going to have another one in December before it gets too close to Christmas to talk about, and I'm not going to give any details here, but we're going to talk about a new, not an incentive plan so much, but it's a recognition plan to recognize clubs and districts that excel in each of the quarters of this Optimist year. And so we're hashing out the fine points of that, but we are going to have that webinar. All of those webinars are all being saved to the Optimist Institute. And if you go into the Optimist Institute, sign in on the main page, there's a vertical banner on the left-hand side of the screen. One of the buttons says 2025 New Club Building Blitz. If you click on that, you'll find all of the webinars listed. And they talk about everything from new club building to being a mentor to a new club to the one that we did in September that was really talked about social media advertising, about all of the different strategies and innovations in terms of getting new members for an existing club or for a new club. I also would really recommend, if you're considering it, using social media advertising, if you enter how do I advertise on Facebook in your Google search area, I've found a great couple of videos in there that will take you step by step, everything that you really need to know. And the nice thing is you can replay it, you can go back again, you can save that and go back a couple weeks later. And I've done that. And it's really helpful in navigating the system for setting up your Meta business account and setting up your ad campaign. Um, it was easy language. And even if you're not the person that has the technical skills to do that, if you're the person that has the vision for how you want to build new clubs or build existing clubs, then you can find in your club, in your district, somebody that has the technical skill. So don't let the fact that you don't have the specific technical skill hold you back. Find someone. And even if you have to go to somebody that isn't an Optimist member to get them to help, that's fine. They very well could become a member. In fact, when we started this in the year that I was the governor-elect, I went out to people I know that run a marketing company in my hometown, told them what I wanted to do during my year as governor, and they jumped in with both feet. They provided all of the artwork and the legwork setting us up pro bono. They even helped with some of the costs associated with our ad campaigns. And from there, we were able to model and emulate from that plan. So they basically taught us, they just didn't give us a fish, they taught us how to fish. And we've been going full bore ever since. We've probably helped, I'm saying we're probably up around 10 clubs have come to us, at least 10 clubs have come to us and said, can you help us with growing membership for our club? And plus, I think we're at 5 or 6 new club builds.
That's a pretty impressive record of five or six new club builds.
This is over like a 3-year period, so we're beginning the third year now.
Well, Rick, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you taking the time to visit with us and share your goals and share information on growing growth within our Optimist International organization.
Well, it's been a pleasure being here.